Old school automotive back again. Back on this Ranger today, guys. As you can see, I got the valve cover back on. New gasket. I don't know if you can see that shiny blue thing. Yeah, you can see it pretty good under there. So I was just going to try and take you guys a step-by-step on how to get this stuff draped back across to this side of the engine, because it's kind of a process and you kind of got to wiggle it all back into its spot. Some of these spark plug wires need to be pulled off the coil so you can get them underneath and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I don't have a tripod with me here today, so I'm just going to kind of take you step by step, and I might not catch all of it on camera, but I'll show you what I've done once I get it done. So this is the point here, guys. Like I said, you kind of got to remove some of these spark plug wires to get this back down. So this here clips onto that, and as you can see, I had to fish this out from under these spark plug wires. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug those and get those put back under there real quick. All right, so as you can see, I got her pretty cleaned up here. It's looking a lot better. I just wanted to mention, if you ever go to work on an older vehicle that has a bunch of miles on it like this one does, stuff like this plastic is just, there's not much you can do about it breaking. If it breaks, it breaks, and that's too bad. Unfortunately, this vehicle is mine, so I don't have to worry about a customer. But I always warn mine about that. And this vacuum line right here, I just wanted to point out, it goes between the two coils, runs along the side here, and comes back over. So at this point, I'm just going to verify that everything's kind of in its right spot, and then I'm going to start working the upper intake manifold right here back on, and I'll bring you guys back here in just a little bit. Alright, so I don't quite have the upper intake back on yet, but I just kind of wanted to show you, you want to put stuff together as you can as you're going along. So I got the computer plugged back in. It reaffixed here with the ground behind it. I plugged in this EGR monitor over here. Both coils, if I didn't say that already. And like I said, I got this here. I think this is in a good spot for the intake. So I'm just about getting ready to grab it up here and see if I can get it put down on. So I'll bring it back here in just a few minutes. All right, so as you can see, I got the intake set back up in here. I just want to point out something to y'all real quick. I don't know if you can see that tube. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see. There's a tube that needs to go to a PCV right down in there, and it looks really difficult to get it on the little PCV. That being said, let's see if I can get a view of it here. There it is, kind of right there. If you stick that thing down in the right spot, I got lucky enough for it just to plop right on where it's supposed to be. So maybe you can get lucky too, but that thing was stressing me out. But it went right on. Just wanted to share that. All right, so as you can see, I got the intake all put back down. I want to point out just a couple of things. There is a bolt just opposite of this one right here. It's incredibly hard to get to back there. And don't tell anybody, but I didn't put it back. And then I could not figure out exactly where this vacuum line was supposed to be routed. I probably should have taken pictures, so on and so forth. Where I had it, it was going to be resting on the hot part of this EGR valve pipe, and I didn't want to melt it. So I got it up here for now. I might turn this out just a little bit so it gets away from there here in a few minutes. But all I'm going to do is kind of finish piecing this back together little by little, and hopefully I'll bring you back here in a bit for a start and run. Just want to jump in here for a second and say that by far, without question, the most difficult part of this job is this EGR valve right here. I'm going like an eighth of a turn at a time on both. Give me just a few here, guys, and we'll get her started up. All right, guys, so we're back together here enough to give it a start and see what we get. So I'm going to stick my head in the door here and give the key a turn and see if she'll start up for us. So I just did the valve covers, replaced the 4 spark plugs on the intake side, changed the upper intake gasket, and I fixed a vacuum leak. There's a vacuum line leaking. So here we go. Well, it looks like I didn't mess anything up too bad. She started right up for us. We'll let her warm up here for a few and make sure I'm not leaking any oil.